Just as the clock turns 12, so does Ray. Now officially being the day he's meant to be shipped out, Ray has a couple of options. Ray can sit around waiting for his time to come, though that wouldn't help much as Ray can't necessarily reminisce of a time where he wasn't aware of his fate because such a time doesn't exist. Also, such thoughts may bring about bad memories of all the lives he sacrificed, which seemingly have been in vain. Or Ray can proceed with the escape and, go out with a bang, much like he intended to. I think this episode really puts Ray in the clear of a lot of things. Basically, there's a lot about Ray that we were led to believe that in the end were untrue. For example, the fact that Ray would never really put Emma and Norman's survival in jeopardy. I mean, he planned right from the beginning a plan that guaranteed at least their survival. There's also this idea that Ray doesn't care about his siblings, whether it's because he didn't really seem to care about shipping some of his siblings off early just to gain some additional information on the tracking devices, or the fact that he seemed unbothered about leaving everybody but Emma, Norman, Don, and Gilda at Gracefield. I've said it once, and I'll say it again, Ray loves his family. A little bit of trivia here, because I'm not sure if it's directly mentioned in the manga, and I for a fact know it wasn't mentioned in the anime, but according to Kayu Shirai, the Promised Neverland's writer, Ray's dream is to see things like the Mona Lisa and the Sagrada Familia, which leads me to believe that Ray is interested in art. However, obviously, due to the situation he's in, is unable to express himself not only in general but artistically as well. The only real time we really see this side of Ray is through his photography, and I also believe he's seen drawing sometimes in the manga. Ray loves his family enough that he was going to give up his life, give up any opportunity he may have of seeing the Mona Lisa to increase their chances of success. However, as a tactician, Ray couldn't just ignore all the drawbacks that would come with every child, including toddlers, being a part of the escape. It may seem heartless, but it's realistic. Ray was just trying to ensure Emma's and Norman's security after the escape, which once again he was planning to ensure by sacrificing himself in a blaze of glory. But Norman had other plans in mind for Ray, as the world is this giant place, and because Norman is now gone, it's Ray's job to live Norman's dream out for him, while simultaneously doing what he wants to do. Honestly, it was amazing seeing somebody as intelligent and tactful as Ray be absolutely clueless throughout the episode. He legitimately could not believe his eyes as his siblings, the ones he thought about leaving, proved them wrong and are working together to make Norman's plan succeed. I absolutely loved all of that, as it's a very good way to give all of the other children from Gracefield that probably have not gotten enough development or screen time in general at least some presence. Also, if there were still any characters you thought couldn't pull their weight, like Dawn or Gilda, this also gives us some faith in them, as they were able to organize all of this and keep it under wraps. So hearing this, obviously it makes for a pretty solid adaptation of these chapters, right? Well, let's talk about it. This episode covers chapters 32 through 34, which coincidentally also brings us to the end of volume 4 of the series. So another typical 3 chapters, and another 3 chapters that got pretty solid adaptations if I do say so myself. Artistically, it is one of the more accurate adaptations in my opinion. I love how the fire looked, and I love how the lighting was affected by it. Though, still artistically, a lot of people made a big deal about facial expressions. Emma's facial expressions in the manga are a lot more dramatic than how they were seen in the anime. However, those things are pretty trivial though. I see some people saying that they enjoyed the anime version better because it seemed a lot more realistic, and vice versa. Me personally, I'm a believer that a facial expression should match the seiyu's performance, and I do think the more dramatic looking expressions from the manga match Morohoshi Sumire's brilliant performance a lot better, but you won't really catch me complaining about that. And if I do say so myself, as a manga reader, the reveals were really shocking and actually evoked my family to refer to Emma as a badass bitch, so do with that what you will. And last but not least, I do not want to end this discussion without mentioning Isabella. Because the cool thing about all of this is seeing how Isabella is finally being outsmarted and outplayed, and how she's surprisingly calm to an extent, in the sense that she knows exactly what she has to do. It's really interesting to see her conflicting emotions. Because just like Rei, it's important to note that Isabella cares about these children. It's impossible for her not to. And like I said, it's really interesting to see her inner dispute of wanting her children to be okay, because that's her maternal instinct, but also wanting them to be okay because her job, nay, her life relies on their survival. Which is ultimately a decision that Phil's remaining presence at Gracefield is going to force Isabella to make. Does she leave Phil and possibly other children in danger near the fire in order to go capture the escaping children for the sake of her job? The Promised Neverland's first season is ending in the best way possible, and I absolutely love it. But hey, these are my thoughts, and I'm curious to hear yours. So let me hear how you think the escape will go. Everything seems to be going according to plan, but as we saw in the end, my son, Phil, was left behind. How will that affect things? Let me know your thoughts and theories. If you're a manga reader, let me know how you felt Cloverworks adapted this episode. Do you agree with what I had to say about this episode and how this story has been adapted so far? Please like the video if you enjoyed it, it helps the channel out a lot, and also feel free to not only follow me on Twitter, but also to subscribe to my channel and to also hit that bell. That way you don't miss a video and can continue watching The Promised Neverland and a lot of other series with me. And with that being said, I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you all soon. Bye bye.